Yo, it's Max.
Alexis, man, let's get it. Let's talk that shit.
This is the Judge.
There you go.
I see we got a guest, man. This is the Judge Us Not podcast, man. Welcome to the courthouse of public opinion, baby. Of course, we got my boy Dame in the building.
Yo.
Yeah, and we got a guest, man.
This shit fire.
Special guest, blessing us right here from the other side of the country.
Side of the country,
Everything special in here. You look at this. The tea is special. The rock special.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got my boy Tahoe in the building,
What's
man.
poppin', y'all? How y'all
Tahoe
feeling?
TV, man.
Tahoe
Good.
TV,
Appreciate
man.
you.
How you doing, man? How was the flight and shit?
Life is good. Actually, it's crazy because it was like supposed to be a 6-hour drive from LA. And I got on the fucking plane. It was like an hour, like 50-something minutes. And next thing I know, I'm here. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, where we off? 10?
Oh yeah,
5 out there,
'cause we just
5
came from
straight
LA.
back?
We just
Yeah.
came. We got back in here like 4:30 or some shit like that in the morning. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But
So
it's good to be out here in the Bay. Everybody's telling me how much of a difference the Bay is from LA. Y'all got, is it Bay, LA beef? Like, what is that?
it ain't no beef. We
It's
just different. Yeah, we
Different
just
swag,
different
man.
like
Different. We
motherfucker.
just move a little different. You know what I mean? Racial things is different. Way more. We the what would you say? Like the melting pot.
Yeah, we the melting pot.
We the
for
melting
sure.
pot. Out there, it's a little more segregated a little bit. I feel like it's getting better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But out here, it's man, anything goes. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
you
Especially,
got you got everybody in like a projects. You feel me? You will have Cambodians, black. You know, you have everybody in the
So
same.
wait, is
fucking
there
project.
racism out here like that?
Nah, not in the Bay like that.
Not compared to other places for sure. Yeah. We
Y'all
are in a
all
little
fuck with each
bubble.
other.
Yeah. It ain't nothing to, especially whatever you talking about relations. It ain't nothing to go down the street and you see a black girl with a white dude with an Asian dude. Like,
Y'all don't feel no way about
You
that.
don't feel
man,
no way
for the
about that
most
shit.
part,
It's just
you still got your people that feel away, but it's definitely more accepted out here. You know what I mean? I don't know how it is. How is it I ain't never been in New York. How is it in the
I've
East
been to
Coast?
New York once. I went to Harlem. Harlem and I pulled up and I'm just like, nigga, this shit lit. I said, nigga, y'all is live out here, bro. I'm like, how the fuck do y'all sleep?
Yeah, you can't.
Like,
it's different, bro.
It
The
was
nickname
hella
City that
shit
never
going
sleeps?
on, bro.
Or is that Las Vegas?
No, it's a city that never sleeps. It used to be, but now it's gentrified. Now it's the
Now
city
they
that
sleep
needs its
sometime.
rest.
They take naps.
Take a couple naps.
But I'm just like, cause we, our little projects out here like this, I went out there. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? Y'all niggas got a whole.
Pass
Nigga,
by the
y'all got
stoop.
towers, the projects and things like this shit is crazy. But that shit was fun though, man. I enjoyed myself out there. My boy took care of me and shit, and yeah, we did some shit. I fucked with my boy Rich Rama.
Okay.
My nigga, he good peoples. You feel me? Yeah, I fuck with niggas out there.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. New York is a different beast. Like I said, I was telling somebody, like, nigga, you go outside in New York, it's 1 billion people at your door, right there.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We're a little bit more aggressive because every day you're in 1 billion people's faces.
You feel like you
Every
got to.
day.
You got
walking.
to. Yeah.
You don't really drive like that. Some people drive, you
Yeah.
know, but we walk every day. You walking past 1 billion motherfuckers. you know.
Yeah.
Growing up like that and going to school like that and just even going to the corner store. It's a store in every corner.
Yeah.
Liquor stores in every block. You kind of get hardened when
Yeah.
you're living like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you being around a motherfucker, move.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out my way, move. And everybody's talking like that. Your old ladies is talking like that. The baby's leaning out the baby carriage. Move, motherfucker. Like, so it's a different energy, and that's why I believe to the world, New York is so aggressive. But you got to understand.
Why
You
y'all like
are a
that?
product of your environment, no matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you was asking me about is racism like that? Well, gentrification is a motherfucker. I don't know if y'all have gentrification.
Oh yeah,
here.
that's big out here, especially in Oakland. Like right now, where you at? This is East Oakland. It got your different areas of Oakland, but that's big. Yeah, gentrification is definitely going on out
I'm
here.
still trying to understand where all these motherfuckers come from. How is everywhere being gentrified? Where the fuck is these people coming from? Like, where are?
What would you say, like
Money.
tech?
Money.
Just a lot of the tech, because we big in the tech. You know what I mean? So a lot of them buildings and shit is in this area. So you got the big tech money. You know what I mean? So
And that's why the Bay Area is so
outbid and
fucking
shit.
high, because this is the mecca of tech. You know what I'm saying? So.
I don't understand who fed the
It's-
gremlins
you
after
can-
12.
But like you can look at the shittiest house out here and you be like, how the fuck is that 1.2? You know what I'm saying?
Son,
like that
it's
shit is
crazy.
crazy.
East Palo Alto is crazy. The worst
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
worst house is like 1.2 million. And
And I want to know where they're getting all this money from. How is so a dude bought a burnt down building in my neighborhood. My neighborhood, every house is about $2 million, right? White dude bought the house, renovated the shit completely, like dug all of the old custom stairs and antiqued this out, just replaced all that shit, and didn't rent it out. Like he literally bought it.
Just sat on it.
And it's just him and his family in there. It's 4 floors.
And
So to us to afford a mortgage, you gotta rent the top floor, you gotta rent the 3rd floor, whatever, right? Because the mortgage is gonna be 8 bands a month or some shit like. He just lives there.
Yeah.
I was wondering how.
That
What
gap.
do you do, bro?
Yeah.
What do you do to?
Well, if you own a building that's $2 million minimum, he probably owns. That's not the only building he owns for sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
You don't save up.
but also what it is, so they ain't got to deal with banks and shit like that. They tie their money in that and just sit it there because that is their bank. So they don't rent it out. They just hold the money there. You feel
That
me?
makes sense.
Yeah.
But what if now the house loses value? What if this whole real estate boom loses value?
It don't
Depends
matter.
on where it is though. Like
it-
New York, it ain't losing much value.
It don't
San
matter because
Francisco,
they're not
it ain't-
looking at it. They're not buying it for that reason. You know what I'm saying? So to them, it's just a bank. It's just an asset to them. You know what I'm saying? So they're not looking at property value and shit like that. They just holding it for.
I think about shit like that, like the way we were raised. We're raised, black people. We raised to be workers and shit, right? They said get a job, go to school, and do this so you could go work. You could get a good fucking job.
But we ain't taught how
the
to-
American way isn't that, bro. They don't teach us the real shit how to create
Smarter,
wealth.
not harder, man.
And if
Smarter,
you
not
have
harder.
money too, it's hard. It's easier to get in. I used to work at a bank, and it was hard for people if you want to live in the house to go get the house because somebody would come in with cash and buy outright versus you got to get a loan. You might get an FHA loan where you're going to put less than 5%, and then if they got cash, they'll take your offer. So you're going doing 20 offers. Somebody just comes in and buys a house. It sits in the neighborhood for a couple of years till the value goes up, and that's how they. But they already have money versus if you just trying to save up and do it,
right.
You're already starting.
Under the bus, you're
Yes.
you behind the bus.
Worked out the gate.
And I think that's a lot of our problems out here in this world. We're not educated on how to live in this system, and we kind of trying to do things our way. But you can't do things your way when the whole system is set up to benefit a whole nother race and a whole nother fucking way, monetary way, financial way. These motherfuckers have legacies. We don't have that shit. We trying to create this shit from after our dads left in the 80s and 90s, and we don't really have nothing that we come from. It's different. It's difficult. So one thing about us, and I'm really glad that I'm here, is I want to create like an army, bro. You know, we separated we separated Brooklyn and LA or the Bay.
Yeah, I'm big on that shit too.
You know what I'm
big on that
saying?
shit too.
We create so many different enemies within our own unit, son. We take fucking one shot at them, we turn and shoot 30 at each other. Oh, he's light skinned, or he's dark skinned, or he's from the Bay, or he's from LA, or he's from Brooklyn, he's from Harlem. And we fighting amongst each other when these motherfuckers got a whole system to oppress all of us. We walk down a block, sometimes I don't even feel comfortable walking past a motherfucker that been through the same shit as me. Why I'm mad at him? Why we mad at each other?
And it's funny that you brought that up because that's literally like the reason for all this shit. Like the name Judge Us Not is based around that. You feel me? Is so we could. So we're not pointing out small ass differences like, oh, I don't like you doing this. Like, don't judge me off that. This is what we about. You feel me? Fuck if I do this. Fuck if I did this. Fuck if I did that. You feel me? We all on the same page here. Let's do this shit together. You feel me? And this like this name and this movement is like bigger than this like podcast shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm talking about.
this shit is.
I want parts.
Yeah, for sure.
That actually reminds me what we was talking about earlier, bro. Like, what is it in you? Just even how we first sat down, and you was like, I'm going to these podcasts, they ain't been doing it this long, trying to put people on. What is it in you, or what separates you, and what sparks that need to like help everybody? You want to see everybody win type of
What
mentality.
made you give a fuck?
I was a motherfucking.
Yep.
I was scared when I was young. I grew up in the house in a brownstone in Brooklyn, and niggas was running rampant in the streets. I remember coming outside, and niggas walking down the block with a 357 in his hand. 30 niggas, all of them got shotguns, 30-30s, 357, 45. These niggas out crazy. I'm coming out. I don't got no dad. I ain't got no brothers. I live with a bunch of women. I was scared. You know what I mean? And I became part of that because I felt that was the best way for me to defend myself is to become part of it, right? That's not my nature. I negatively affected, I took in that energy and I negatively affected so many people back then because I was scared and because I didn't really know who I was. I wasn't comfortable being who I was. Now I'm 46 fucking years old. And I realized that shit's still happening to our youth. That shit still happening all around us. And, yo, what's the problem with being a dope ass nigga? What's the problem with being different?
Yeah.
What's the problem? Like, why do we?
What's the problem with being you?
What
know
we
the
so
problem with
scared
that?
of? Where the fear come from?
And why is it that we try to we keep one person down because he's like this, or one person. Everybody's like, oh, if I get in, there's so many gatekeepers out here. Like, oh, once you get over there, I'm part of the cool crowd. You're not part of the cool crowd. You know, I can flap my collar now. I don't like that shit because we need each other, bro. We need each other.
We designed to be to need each other. You know what I'm saying?
And the game really perpetuates us to keeping each other down. They ain't even got to do it no more.
That's big. That's
we
real.
doing it to each other now. They ain't even got to do nothing. They sitting back in their master plan that Willie Lynch is. They just like
They set up the system and they just let all the pawns kind of play it out. They just set the
let 'em
rules
kill
and like,
each
all right,
other.
y'all go ahead.
So what's the problem with Brooklyn coming across to the Bay? Why we ain't never do that? Why is that a big? Why the fuck we don't do that? We're talking about Brooklyn. We say everywhere you go is Brooklyn here. Yeah, we always there. So why the fuck we ain't coming out here?
Yeah.
Why the fuck we ain't going to Texas? Why the fuck we ain't going to all of these places
that's
with
a fact.
and bring us together and create this nationwide shit, international shit? I want to go to London. I want to go to Ghana,
real
Kenya.
shit. Yeah.
What the fuck
And
is
it was
we
crazy.
doing?
That's what gentrification is. Other people coming from another place to do that. Because, like you said, Texas, Austin, Texas is going to turn into what the Bay is turning
the
into
new
now.
tech,
Because they're opening up tech hubs there. And it looks like Berkeley over here. Like if you were to go to Austin, Texas right now, and then they're the same complaints that we have about gentrification is it's Texas all over again.
It's happening all over the
Yep,
place.
and they just move on in.
But we not doing it.
But we're not doing it. So the system's there, but we don't utilize that same system.
And that's what I want. And I just want, first of all, information. What I don't know, you may know. But I can't take advantage of it if I keep myself closed to that. If I think I know everything, if I'm just so boisterous about, I'm from Brooklyn, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does that do to help anybody?
I think that's why this is so important too. Like what we're doing right now, just the commentary and the dialogue and all that. It's getting, you know what I mean? It's getting out.
And
you know what
motherfuckers
I mean?
is waking up left and right.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I feel like I'm not even gonna say the black community. I'm gonna just say the poor community. Is that the reason why we live in the condition that we live in is because we don't know. It's not because motherfuckers are stupid or they don't. It's just that we're not exposed to that other shit. So we're just like,
And
damn.
people we respect ain't even doing that.
Yeah, like I grew up like in a Mexican household and shit, and it was just like maybe I'm different because my brothers like my biological brothers and shit because I was exposed to different shit. Because I'm the only one damn near in my family who ain't ever been to jail. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, why is that? It's because it's because I just thought different. It's because I was exposed to different things to think different. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I kick that hood mentality so early on? You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing I was thinking when you saying that, right? The things how we grew up. We weaponize disrespect. We weaponize that because that's the easiest way to keep motherfuckers off of us in these low income communities and shit like that. We weaponize disrespect. We weaponize hate. We don't realize that the love really does overpower the hate by twos. I want motherfuckers at my funeral to be like, yo, that nigga really looked out for me. So
Fast
this motherfucker
we was just
really
talking about
did
this
things
shit.
he ain't had to do for us, for this community. Like he spoke to the old ladies. Even when I was hustling, when I was in the street and I had my hammer, I was the type of nigga to look out for everybody. You can ask anybody in my block. If a nigga violate you, I'm shooting at the nigga. Right? I want to do that for my people now, but in a good way.
In a different way, yeah.
In a good, I want to look out for my people now, but in a good way. That's power, Dukes.
Real shit.
Empower your people. That's power, Duke. What they say, real power is in delegations. Well, I'm putting that power on y'all. We're going to make sure that the Judge Us Not podcast is known out there in the East and known out there in
that's a
Atlanta,
fact.
known out there in
dope,
London.
yeah.
Why not?
That's
How
the
does
plan.
that hurt me?
That's the plan.
But our people, because we still got that slave mentality, we think,
we always in competition for whatever
I was
reason.
gonna say that,
For
yeah,
whatever
the
reason. Crabs in a
competition.
bucket. Crabs in a bucket.
And that's because that's in us.
Yeah.
It's genetic. That shit came from our grandparents and their grandparents and back to the fucking boat.
And that's the reason why I was telling. I think I had
brought
this
us over here.
conversation. I had this conversation with Al yesterday. We was just talking about like, there's a lot of people who's like that's not black would chime in and be like, oh, why don't black people just do this? Da, da, da. It's like it's easier said than done because you don't know because you're not black. You wasn't raised the way we are. You don't understand the conditions that we've been through in the life that my grandma been through, my mama had been. You don't understand that cycle. You feel me? So the reason why we are the way we are, this shit didn't happen overnight. You feel me? This shit is generational, and that shit is. I don't know. That shit
embedded, huh?
it's-
The
yeah, that
energy's
shit-
just embedded.
But I got pro black friends though. I know. That.
You know, a nigga told me that's I said that to somebody. He was like, well, why don't y'all just get over it? And I was like, see, that's that pimp shit. Yeah. That's that pimp shit. You like a pimp. Like, you beat the shit out of a chick and tell her to go out there and get that money, bitch. Get it together. Yeah. That shit, I just beat the shit out of you. That was 20 minutes ago. It's money outside. Go get that money, bitch.
Why, you still worried about that shit? Bitch, get it together. You still hard working?
You trying to pimp me, nigga.
Yeah, real
like,
shit.
we ain't getting over that because the system is still set up that way, motherfucker. Y'all redesign change, motherfucker.
And that condition that you telling us to get over, our mindset is like that because of that shit. You feel me? And it's just like, you can't expect me to get over that shit. You know what I'm saying?
If I slap the shit out you right now, bah! Right? I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna stop crying. Let me come down the block and just flinch at you. Bet you go. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Because now you kind of expecting it. Yeah. I ain't never really got to slap you again. Mm-hmm. Now you always kind of on edge about it.
Now you know when you see me, it's a chance I'm going to slap the shot at you.
Let me ask you this, especially put it in that context, like, what do you think are some tools or things that should be getting done that'll get an individual tired and fed up? You know what I mean? Because there's that point where you get so fed up, you like, man, fuck this. I ain't doing this shit no more. I ain't flinching this time when he come and try to slap me or when he come try to do something. You
Unfortunately, bro. Unfortunately, the more we get slapped, see, black people, we some resilient motherfuckers, man. Right. We've always overcome one way or another.
That's why we ain't never going nowhere.
Right? We adapt.
So we ain't never going nowhere.
So after you fight every day, you start liking it. Now you start attacking because you want to feel that pain again. Like, nigga, this is what I do. I'm a fighter now. You know what I'm saying? The first day you might have got beat up. The second day you might have got beat up. But by next week, you fighting back.
Yeah, now you figured it out. You're like, oh,
now,
shit.
Yo, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You fighting back. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Yeah.
We are fighting back right now.
Do you feel like you get to a point where you always like standing your guard, you're a fighter now, but then you get to a point where you just like projecting, even on people that not necessarily are in with that energy, you know what I mean?
In what way though? Towards who?
Just towards just anything. Like you were saying, we getting, the black community's been getting beat down so much that you kind of get hard and you kind of become that fighter, but then you're always walking around like a fighter. You know what I mean? Even in fighting, people that fight, they seem to always be getting in fights. You know what I mean? They always are quick to snap back and all that. You kind of develop that that persona, or that you start playing that role. You know what I mean? Where you actually start projecting. Because I'm real big into energy. You know what I mean? I know everything is easier said than done. What you put out there, the energy and all that. But it really is like, because I have seen individuals that like something will happen with a white person or whatever, and their perception of it is completely different from mine at that moment. But I know it's because they have that shell, they have them generations. But what will it take for a black person to get to that point where it's like, okay, let me stop, let me think, what's really happening? Is this really a racial thing, or is it just some shit that happened to me a year ago that I'm carrying into this situation?
Oh, that's a heavy question.
Yeah, and I think that is a deep ass question, because that's kind of how like I stand with it, because I've never felt like racial tension like that. You feel me? Especially where I grew up. Like where I grew up was damn near dominantly white anyways, you know what I'm saying? But I never felt like, I was always, I guess I just knew where I belonged, you feel me? Like I was just a project, so it was just like whatever, you feel me? But I never had the hate of any other ethnicity, like
you was
ever,
adapted
you know
to
what I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah. That, and you was born that way, right?
Yeah.
So if you was born in a place where the sky is always red, you don't really think about it. That's just the way it is. But you don't realize that sky is red because there's poisonous gases in the sky. You don't realize that you just adapted to it. When you get to a whole blue place where the sky is blue, you like, damn, you can't go back to the red. Because now you realize that you're breathing healthy now. You can't go back over there. What I'm saying is this. The entire system is racist. You can't tell me whether I'm too sensitive to it or whether it just happened last year, because the whole reason I'm over here is because of fucking slave. Nigga, they put chains and shackles around my neck. I can't get over that. I don't give a fuck if that was 400 years ago. Suck my dick.
It still happened, right? Like
it's still happening. The whole prison system. I went to the penitentiary. The whole prison system is built off of racism. The entire system of this government is built off of racism. Everything. We was 3/5 of a man in the Constitution. The way they built, these forefathers of this country wrote that in. Don't tell me about what happened last year, whether I'm carrying that motherfucker. Like, I'm very sensitive. I am. And I got a fucking right to be. I got a you can't tell me nothing about whether I'm carrying something down until you feel the way I feel. Like, you know what this country to me does? And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not really that woke. I'm emotional. I'm not really that woke. I'm still learning this
All
shit.
feelings, no
My
facts,
people,
baby.
My people, you know what I mean? My people, they be telling me shit and I be thinking it and
You be like, I ain't there yet.
I'm not.
I ain't
You
there
know what I'm
yet.
saying? I'm really not.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that's big to even admit that. You know what I mean?
I'm not.
You know
I'm
what
not.
I
I'm
mean?
not. So I still got to listen more than I talk.
Yeah, and the reason why I bring that up on my end because I see the world for what it is. I know what's going on, but my thing is okay. I know now. So what are we gonna do and who we need to team up with to get our shit together? And that's what always bothered me. Even like we was talking about the protesters and shit. Like you got all these motherfuckers protesting, but what are y'all doing to do something about it? You feel me? Like y'all just gonna sit here and stomp your feet?
Awareness is a motherfucker. Awareness is a motherfucker. I think I look at the dead part of me, not to talk about talk over you on your own podcast.
It's okay.
Hey, when people come on my podcast, talk over me. I'm like, yo,
You in my house.
Like, listen. Well, hold on. Listen.
like, what's going on?
Get your shit out. Yeah.
But the Derek Chauvin case, right, or the George Floyd case, which became the Derek Chauvin verdict. I wonder if a part of me, when I heard the verdict, I got quiet. I got really quiet because I wonder, did this country, did those 12 people or whoever's on that day, did the judge, whoever, did they see that this man was guilty?
Yeah.
Or did they just not want?
Was it a financial decision?
After COVID and this, that, and the other, and just
Like can't take no more type shit.
Like I'm wondering because like yo, all of the times where they said not guilty, it's the same shit. What made this one like so obvious to the system? Like he has to go. That's what I don't understand. Been doing this shit since Rodney King and Abner Weemer and all of these people. What made this so different? And that's why this motherfucking country to me is such a hypocrisy. Because this has been happening time again. The young lady that was about to stab the other lady, she got shot 4 times. How many times y'all seen a cop take down a white person with a knife or a gun? The dude that in the place where he had the assault rifle, he come like, why don't none of them ever get shot by the fucking police the way that I don't trust this system. I don't trust nothing that they say. Everything is designed to suit a purpose with this country.
Yeah.
Every single thing. Derek Chauvin might have just been a martyr or whatever. Like, you know, we got to sacrifice one.
Yeah.
We got to sacrifice one.
Literally one too. It'll be like, hey, we gave y'all one last year. I don't know why y'all still mad.
Y'all still mad? Like,
I don't believe white people, pardon me, sorry, racist. And the reason I truly believe that, because there are some white folks that I believe are part of the cause at this point. And I need them to know that I see the people who say, yo, you know what, I'm going to stand up against my compadres and people who I raised. I see that. I do. I see it. But the racist people, I don't believe the people who came down from the Caucasus Mountains and decided that their thing was to oppress other civilizations, take, rape villages, and do that shit, whatever. I don't believe that they understand the word peace unless they feel pain first.
That's it.
I don't believe that. I don't. I believe that they are the Neanderthals and they fight with their clubs. Remember, you see the thing? They hit the chick over the head and they grab her by the hair and they take her home. I believe that some of them is really like that. They don't give a fuck about none of that. Yeah, they see them black people killed. They call us monkeys, my nigga. They calling us monkeys to this day, my nigga. You can't talk to him. 50 Cent said it a long time ago. You can't ask for peace from a motherfucker that wants war. He's going to think you're weak. The United States says that in all of its dealings across this world. You don't understand me? Let me show you power, and then we'll talk. Because I'm trying to tell you something. We're the United States of America. We got weapons. So I'm trying to tell you something. Oh, that's how you feel? Boom, 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 boom. Let me bomb the shit out of you.
Got something to say now?
Now we can talk.
Yeah, that's why they got the largest
Weapons.
large military by far.
Because that's how they think, that's how they process. So for me, this is why I say I need to empower my people across the country, in the Bay, in LA, San Diego, in fucking Texas, Arizona, everywhere. Because we need to have strength. We need to have unity. We need to have a united front to fight what this is. This is real. This shit is real, my nigga. And we're doing all the work for them. And separating ourselves.
Yeah.
We're doing all the work for them. I got people right now that looking at me in funny ways or whatever. And I realized that it's just a lack of communication. It was set in our communities a long time ago to make us look at each other as we're the enemy, and not have the tools to sit down and have real conversations with each other and conflict resolve. We really think about going to kill each other immediately. Immediately, I do it too. I immediately think, yo, this nigga think I'm playing.
Yeah, I feel that.
Nigga, I will take you off this fucking
man.
planet, nigga. Why?
You got me fucked.
Where that
up.
I got a question. Do you feel like, I don't know if you ever heard like people say it, like the reason why like some people won't change the ways is because they fear the same thing would happen to their people as they did to other people. Pretty much like they kind of fear retribution. You know, so and that's the reason why like things never really change. Because like they already know, it's like they know what they did. You know, if we even the playing field, now they may want you know revenge.
We're their biggest enemy, bro. We're their biggest fear. For us to have the same type of power, because then what happens? Nigga, look at the images. He's hitting us with fire hoses and dogs, nigga. They was throwing out bodies off the fucking ship by millions. Millions. This is set in this world. This isn't just Brooklyn. This isn't just the Bay. We're talking about DR, Haiti, everywhere that there was a port. We're talking about Africa, nigga. Why you think that they don't... We still seeing huts and shit like that. This is all part. This was a worldly thing that they did. You really think that they willing to give up that finance? Really give up that control, the whole stronghold of this world? This ain't just about black people. This is really about retribution and the financial structure of this entire system. I think about going home sometimes to a place I've never been. I think about why they don't want us to do that. We go to Dubai. We go to
everywhere else.
Go to London. Why we every time we see images of them, it's some little kid with the fly
and shit,
and huts, and I even had the thought in my head, like, do they have Wi-Fi over there?
Yeah.
It's crazy that you even have to like think that way. Like, wait a minute. Like, so you got all the same
really
stuff.
think like that. Like, am I going to be able to, you know? That shit is setting us, bro. This is a plan. And I think about that. So I'm making little steps right now. I come to
sometimes
Cali.
it's undeniable too, because I don't, you know, I had that like recently. They had the Stop Asian Hate movement. Right. And immediately it's like, I don't know how long after, but probably within the last year, right? Then they already set the bill, like the Stop Asian. I forgot the name of the bill, right? They immediately did something about it, right? And I've never once ever seen. I saw somebody talking about it, and I was like, you know, that's right. I've never seen anybody say, "Hey, stop Asian hate." That's good. All right, cool. No one ever said like, "Stop all hate," right? But as soon as they did the Black Lives Matter, what was the opposition? Immediately, it's like, well, all lives matter. Why don't you? There was no opposition to the Asian at all. Where we were like, hey, we're cool. We're all with that. Stop Asian hate. Let's start this bill to do that immediately.
I ain't even thought about that shit.
Black Lives Matter. Like, oh wait, no, all lives matter. Like, why can't it be the same thing? But like, and that was just in the last year.
And
that's crazy.
And this is what's fucked up about me is just that. Like, when it comes to, like, political, I just think everything is a fucking hoax. So I don't give a fuck about what political shit that people got going on. I'm just like, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit because all that shit is an agenda to do something else. Let me just get my people in order. Look, fuck, we know what they doing. Let's do this. Let's build this little shit. Let's do shit for the community. Let's do our own little shit. Fuck what's going on. Fuck what the world's talking about right now. If we organize the way we need to, we ain't got to worry about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because all that shit is just like, it's always something that's leading to something else. Even with this whole COVID shit, it's just like, why all of a sudden now the government gives a fuck about us? You know what I'm saying? Like, now all of a sudden you care about a vaccine. It's just like, tobacco kill more people than fucking anybody in the world, but you ain't stopping that shit.
You know they just came up with an HIV cure because of COVID.
Oh really? I ain't hear about that.
They got a vaccine or some shit for HIV now. It's 95%
Yeah, they got a bunch of shit for like shit like that. You ever went to get your test and they be like, hey, do you need this to prevent? And I'm like, what? That sounds like a cure. Like, wait a minute. Like, if I get a cold, like, you ain't got nothing for me, but if I cannot get AIDS, like, what the fuck is this?
Is it because it affects them? That's the answer to that. Because it affects them. That's why it matters now. Because they people is dying now. You know what I mean? Like,
now it's nothing. Now it ain't. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah,
I feel what you was saying though. What you was just saying as far as because I'm the same way. When you talk about politics and this bill, I'm like, I know a little bit, but I'm For the most part, I'm oblivious
this nigga
because
Al is like this
I'm
nigga.
on the- right.
This nigga wouldn't have cable his whole life and just fall.
But you know why though? You know why? It's because at the end of the day, I don't think what gets signed or what's on this document or whatever is gonna affect us in the way that you think. You know what I mean? I'm all about who am I talking to that's right in front of me, or what can I do personally? You know what I mean? We got to start small, and if everybody do their little part, it always is gonna grow into something bigger. You know what I mean? Where I think people, whether it's race, anything, they always are looking up to the government, to the top, to fucking change and change the whole world. It don't like a light switch. You know what I mean? It didn't work like that. It works with the everyday conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I
The
mean?
habits, man.
Little
Each one
things like
teach
this,
one.
what we doing. You know
Each
what I
one
mean?
teach one.
Yeah, yeah.
And it starts, boom, I'm walking in the street one day, and I said this on my show. There's a black man walking towards me, and he was working or whatever, and I was walking towards him, and he gave me that look that black people give each other, like, yo, you good?
You good?
Am I in danger? Are we good? All right, cool. And I turned around, I said, yo, what's good, bro? How you feeling, man? He was like, huh? I was like, yo, we need to talk to each other. We one and the same, bro. We ain't got to do that when we see each other. He was like, yo, good looking, homie. I was like, yo, I'm going to see you around. You know what I mean? And we kept going.
That right there.
Things like that. Like, we got to stop demonizing blackness.
It's funny that you said that too, because that's how I became as I got older. Like when I started hitting like probably like 18, 19, like, you know, when you young, you get that, man, this nigga mugging me, da, 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 da. You feel me? So when I start feeling like that, if I see somebody looking for too long, the first thing that come to my mind is like, I see him looking, I look, what's up, homie?
Yeah.
You feel me? And change
Yeah,
that whole
change
dynamic.
that
Fuck
You feel
'em
me?
up,
And
right.
just because I don't, why we acting like we mad at each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? What's up? How you
That's
doing?
our
All right,
way.
what up? Like I think I had walked through a group of people or something like that, and I didn't shake the whole. Went around a circle and so what's up. Like I knew these motherfuckers. I was with my partner. He was like, "Bro, you know them?" I was like, "Nah, I know them motherfuckers from the can of paint." You feel me? I said, "But they was looking like they knew me." So I just figured, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? You good? All right, I'm gonna catch y'all around." You know what I'm saying?
And that's hella rare though.
And
What
just,
you just
just
did.
keep it moving, yeah.
Oh, yo, I fought it. I tried to
know?
like to say it.
Oh, that's good. I was wondering.
I thought he felt some bad.
I was like, yeah, maybe he just want to clear it out a
I
little bit
had
or
mad
something.
coffee, so
Hey, it's good. Hey,
flying with your
it's good.
I
It's
try to
good.
like to say that the smoke
my
getting in
boy,
the
I
cameras.
I
and
thought he
something
being
like, damn,
spiritual,
son.
man. He just try to look out for us. I hear
My
you.
boy Tahoe off that. He off that mud right
Off
now.
that
He don't
mud
know what
water.
that-
Yeah,
Hey, you
nigga
know what's
gave me
hella
this mud
funny?
water.
Tahoe called me earlier, right? He was like, I'm like, I was like, hey, where you at? You in Cali or are you in the Bay?
I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, are you out here? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, but are you in Cali or are you in the Bay? He like, nigga, what the? Is that two separate places?
Which
What the fuck
California
is
you
going
in,
on?
bro?
Even that though, even that. Why do we take that stance on that? Why are we so like, oh, that's LA, boy. We
You
the
get
Bay, we
offended if
different.
someone thinks you're, you
Yeah.
LA? Like,
But-
oh, no, I ain't even.
Yeah.
To be honest, I honestly think that we do it because California is so fucking big, and we don't want you to think that it's right around the corner. Like when you first came out here, you was like, "Damn, I didn't even know this shit was 6 hours away." And it's just like, and we just try to make it clear, like, nigga, where are you at? Because you may not be as close as you think you are. You know what I'm
But
saying?
see,
think it's
LA,
that? You think
I
it's
think
that?
that LA gets all of the focal point from the world when it comes to Cali.
Yeah.
And people have pride for where they from, right? It's like, yo, you came to Cali, but you ain't come to the Bay. You did not come to San Diego. You went to LA. Like say you went to LA. Stop saying Cali is like, cause it's funny. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to LA. I'm gonna go to LA. Then I'm gonna go to fucking San Diego, and then I'm gonna go to Oakland. Some niggas was like, yo, have you looked at a map? This is the last time you looked at a map, my nigga. I was like, wow. So I tried to plan it. And I was like, wait, San Diego's over here. And Oakland's there.
We was talking about that shit away from. We was like, damn, nigga, San Diego like 3 hours away from LA. You know what I'm saying?
But it's all about identity. People want their identity. People
Oh, yeah, for
want,
sure.
you know,
That sense of
respect.
tribe shit we be talking
You know
about.
what I mean?
Yeah,
And-
tribal
and
shit.
it's disrespectful. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a New Yorker, because the focal point of almost everything has historically been on New York, and then we will disrespect other regions. You know what I mean? And people feel like, yo, we love y'all, but y'all don't show us that same fucking love. And I understand that, and I accept that, and I challenge that from now going forward. I want Atlanta to know that I fuck with Atlanta.
Yeah.
I want y'all to know, like, it ain't just, nigga, it ain't
Just because
just
where
us.
I'm from, I'm fucking with you
I
regardless.
love you,
know what
bro.
I'm saying?
I
Yeah,
say
real
a
shit.
shout. I say that, you know what I'm saying? And I come to nigga, I listen to Pac all the way out this motherfucker,
Yeah,
you know what I
like,
mean?
And I'm big on that same shit. Like I love saying where I'm from because that's where I'm from. You feel me? But I ain't never disrespected another, you know what I'm saying, another city and shit like that because at the end of the day, I fuck with you. You feel me? I can't. That's what we talking about with the whole tribalism shit. Like I can't say fuck a whole city just because I got a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is just goofy.
It's
You feel
impossible
me?
to represent an entire city with one person.
Yeah,
one
you know what I'm
personality.
saying? So it's just like, and then I don't know, that shit just get crazy,
But
man.
with
It's-
New York, you got to understand that we're very regionalized in New York. Like, you know, you've heard where Brooklyn at.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn don't really fuck with the Bronx like that, or the Bronx don't fuck with Brooklyn, or we don't fuck with Queens, niggas. And nobody fucks with Staten Island. Nobody fucks with Long Island. So we do that in our own place as well. You know what I mean? So it's not just that we do that against Atlanta or Cali or whatever.
Right.
We do that right around where you're from. And there is a pride thing there, but it's a level of ignorance there as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we really need to get, I fuck with the Bronx, all right? I know my baby mama's from the Bronx, y'all. Stop it. Like, I just talk shit because, you know, it is what it is. It ain't that deep. But I love being over here. I grew up in L.A.
You talk shit out of
in
love,
some
man.
way. My uncle owned the spot out in Hollywood Hills, so I used to come out here a lot. And with the whole East-West shit, like I was kind of torn because I like coming over this motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I didn't like what happened with Big, but I also didn't like what happened with Pac because he was so powerful. I remember, let me tell you a real story. Pac was on Above the Rim. I was working on Above the Rim. When Pac did Above the Rim, hip-hop was at time. It was a time in hip-hop, right? So everybody was freestyling and shit like that back then. Niggas was up so Pac, in the middle of a scene on the course. I don't know if y'all remember the Above the Rim. There was like the
that
basketball
was my
court
shit. I
right
was actually
before
hooping back in
the
them
nigga came out with the bag and gave the bag to the nigga and go shoot the nigga Shep or whatever.
Nigga Avon.
Right? Yeah, Avon, right? So there's a scene. So we have the whole crowd is in the bleachers, and there's niggas up there right before they started action. Niggas up there is rapping in a freestyle. And niggas start smoking weed, right? And niggas was like, yo, Pac, we up here, we need a Dutch. We got more weed, we need a Dutch. Nigga, remember Pac, Birdie had the cigar. Pac took the shit out of his ear, threw the shit up to the crowd, said, roll that shit up. When it's done, I'm coming up there, right? The niggas rolled it up. They said, yo, Pac, it's roll, what's up? Thinking he fronting. Nigga, Pac made his way through the crowd, stopped production, and started rapping and smoking with these niggas in the middle of the crowd, son. All you hear is, "And my enemies." Nigga, the fucking director and all of them is just sitting there watching this nigga smoke his blunt, rapping with the crowd, son.
Man.
Nobody has that type of power,
that energy,
and still feel like you one of them. You know what I'm saying? I never liked the shit that happened with Big and Pac. I never liked that shit because I still love Pac. I realized they had a small thing in between them. It just went too fucking far.
Me and my brother always talk about that relationship. We just like, damn, imagine how much they would have grown. You feel me? If they just, because these niggas was kids. You know what I'm saying? These niggas was kids when they died. They were just like, bro, imagine how much they would have fucking grown, bro. Like,
Shit sad, bro.
that shit crazy.
And it was influenced by hateful motherfuckers.
Yeah. And for me, and that's kind of how. Like, I just started getting big on social media and shit again once we start doing the podcast and shit like that, because I fucking hate all that shit. You feel me? It's because I understand how people use it, and people don't give a fuck how they get the attention. They're gonna do whatever it takes to get the attention, and I can't associate myself around motherfuckers like that. You feel me? So I make sure, like, I watch what I post. I make sure I'm not just like on some thirsty shit. And the people I see who do that, I be like, yo, nigga, why you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you putting that business out there like that? Like,
Well, we corny. We corny. Man, we corny. We don't be thinking like that.
That shit just be weird to me. And I mean, I get it, and we talked about this shit before. Like, it just became doing silly shit became profitable. You know what I'm saying? And once money become involved, niggas start doing shit for
and
anything.
attention.
You feel me? Yep.
You get more attention. You can say mad positive shit on the internet, and nobody pay attention.
Nobody give a fuck about
The
that
minute you say some gossipy shit or some wild, crazy shit, you got thousands of retweets and thousands of people reposting your shit, and people go look at reality shows. You can have a reality show about so much dope shit, right? Nobody watch that shit. Let it be a motherfucking Bad Girls Club, or the shit with Jocelyn. You see the bitches fighting and bitches talking about double homicide. Yeah, everybody know double homicide.
That shit was hilarious. So you can't lie.
Aren't those babies?
He like, but just to keep the record straight, I enjoyed the shit. You know
I've been
what I'm
using
saying?
that term. I've been using that term ever since. Like, I've seen that.
Right.
But yeah, no, you're
But
right.
see how it's polarized. Negativity is polarized, but that shit also breaks us apart.
You think we could turn that around at any point? or any type of level, like, or what would it take?
Or
to
is it a
turn that
human
around?
psyche?
We
thing?
gotta make it. We gotta make it cool to be positive.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And we
cool
just
to be bad.
Just like
for
right
sure.
now, even with hip hop, you feel me? Like you see people was just like wearing whatever and shit. Now before we were like, nigga, that shit corny. What the fuck is you wearing?
Yeah.
But now we got it to the point where niggas is comfortable being them. You feel me? But even within that shit, because of the attention. They're not doing shit because they like it. They just doing it shit because they know people gonna be talking about them. You know what I'm
I
saying?
never forget when Kanye beat 50 Cent in the rap battle when them 2 albums was coming out.
Yeah, graduation and fucking.
Yeah.
And that's literally when niggas could come outside. When people who wasn't niggas. That's when black people could come outside now. You could wear your polo shirts and you could wear the
How we
different
got
sneakers. And, all of a sudden it became cool and not have to be like that.
I told you I didn't have to be no gangster.
You know what I mean?
I
All
told
of a
you I could
sudden,
do
you
this
ain't
shit.
have to be that way to be cool no more. Bitches just sucking niggas' dicks in pink polos. It's like, oh shit.
That's a great way to measure it. Like, are we on? Like, we still got it, bro.
Good.
Put your
Chance the
polo on,
Rapper
bro.
got a chance now. You know what I mean?
So that's actually part of it. It would take the influencers, the cats that's at the top, the people that that look up to for them.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Change the whole
The
shit and make that
trendsetters.
shit a
Yeah.
thing to be a certain
That's
way.
a whole problem in
And
itself,
then
though, 'cause
you gotta
they
speak to
they
the
gotta want to.
teenagers.
Yeah.
The teenagers is really the ones that kind of change the game. You know what I'm saying? That's the streets. Ain't no old motherfuckers in streets. Like, nah. Once you become a certain age, you gotta
Leave
move
that
a
shit
different
alone.
way.
Yeah.
It's the teenagers, right? So we got to figure out a way to connect with them, and that's the difficult part because they do so many things to project their insecurities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is because they're not comfortable, so they make fun of everybody else. So they attack or whatever.
Exactly.
I ain't no punk, or you know what I mean? Or chicks, act a certain way because they want acceptance. So the teenage women do things because they want acceptance. And kids is fucking horribly cruel.
Oh yeah.
Kids are
They
horribly
don't have no
cruel.
future.
You fuck around and gave them all a device to
That sound hella-
internet and
That sound hella fucked up. They got
to
no
communicate.
Future. They got no filter.
What
when
I
they-
will
when
say
they
is
talk.
this. As us, we're 4 black men and 4 men, right? We got to be fathers.
For sure.
A lot of us came from broken families or from families with negative influences with our parents and shit like that, The mother can't do this shit by herself.
It's not designed to.
Needed.
It's not designed
Like
to.
way more than we thought. And that way we even know, like the dad, when you have a father that shows his wife or his girl positive, or even co-parents, when they have positive co-parenting relationship, the
Communication.
kids download that. It becomes a part of them. This positive relationship and this positive influence. And when you don't have that, you're taking away 50% of the positivity that this child can possibly have. And now it's only the mothers can only do 50% of a co-parent. But having a toxic co-parent now takes away from her 50% because she has to work, she has to breathe, she has hurt from that situation. So now she can only give this child 36% positivity because the other 14 is dealing with the shit coming from over there or from the world, the financial stress or whatever the fuck, whoever she's fucking is doing to her. Now this kid only has a 36% chance of positivity coming up right now. You have to be there. And you have to, imagine if you have 36% of positivity, you and your baby mama, y'all go through y'all shit, or you go through your shit, you ain't got enough money, whatever, you go through your shit, but you give your kid 36% as a dad. And the woman could give her child 36%, just a 36%, because even if y'all both positive towards each other, the percentage rises. But 36 and 36 is 72. That child now has a 72% chance at positive influences versus just having that 36 without the dad around. You just doubled the motherfucker's chances just by being in their life, calling them, saying, "Are you okay?" Taking them to Dave and Buster's, coming to their basketball games, showing up to their dance rehearsals, talking to them in the car on the way home. This is what happened, and Dad's like, "Yo, this is what I'm going through." Be real. Kids is humans too.
Yeah.
Kids need to understand that their parents is human. They need to have these influences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without us being there, they barely have a fucking chance. Our kids barely have a chance. We have to understand the humanity in that. We got to start talking, to your baby mother. Start telling her, I fucked up. We fucked up. It's okay. I'm trying to do better.
Yeah.
Accept that. Like, some of this reason that y'all not together is because you broke her fucking heart.
Yeah.
Accept it. Accept it. Don't blame her for being heartbroken. Accept, I fucked up. We fucked up. We could have did better, but I don't want our kids to go through that. What do I need to do?
That's a fact.
Say that out loud. Admit it. Acknowledge it.
Hey, humility, man, that's big.
And if we men, We men, we're supposed to be able to do that.
Be that shit. Yep.
If we can't do that, you ain't really no man, bro. You still a little boy.
You still a little boy. You just older.
Yep. You still trying to figure it out too. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just older, man.
No, that's real. That's real.
I got shit. I gotta take a shit.
Hey,
It's good. Hey, that
At
money.
least you can admit it, man.
That's humility right there.
I sit here bubbling and shit.
look, hey, this what's hella funny about this whole podcast is like, we checked Tahoe out and she was like, oh, he a funny cat. Like we finna have fun with this nigga. This nigga came on here dropping some whole other shit.
I'm out here learning, bro.
He came on some red pill, blue pill shit, and I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? Hey, cut this shit off, man. Turn off them candles and shit, bro. We got this nigga tripping, man. But nah, brother, I appreciate you, man. Real shit. I appreciate you coming out here to fuck with us, man. And I appreciate you reaching out, man. And shout out to Keisha for setting that shit up too. Because I know she's the one who reached out to you. And yeah, man. Anything
I'm really
you want to?
happy to be here, man, for real. And I hope we do this again. Y'all come to New York, come fuck with us.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
For sure.
Definitely.
We'll plan that shit. We'll make that shit happen. You feel me?
We'll hop in the car live on the.
We'll hit. We'll do it.
Tell me you gonna drive to
We'll do it. We'll give a
back
fuck.
a trip out of it.
Every state at the rest stop, you just stop and set up your shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
saying?
So, you wanna
any
plug some
drops,
shit in?
anything?
You wanna
Yeah.
plug some shit in?
My name is @Tahoe_TV. I'm on Instagram. My stories is probably your best bet on Instagram. I just blog my whole life and my stories and shit. I do little videos every once in a while and shit too. YouTube. I'm building up my YouTube, about to do a show on YouTube, so let's see what happens over there.
Nice.
Catch me on Twitter with my little thoughts and whatnot. I'm on I do 2 podcasts. One is called Hard or Soft Podcast. It's 2 heterosexual men. We talk about the things that we like about sex and the things that we don't like about sex. The things that make us hard and the things that make us soft. I know it's weird. I know it's weird to have 2 men
I'd like
talking
to be
about
on that
sex
show.
with each other, right? But the thing is that men don't do that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And once you open up that kind of
And being
conversation
honest
and
with the shit.
yeah, it opens you up to having emotional awareness
Yeah.
and the things that you really don't even realize you're doing wrong in a relationship, and that goes way past sex.
Yeah.
It goes like, because minute foreplay starts, we had a therapist on, for the minute y'all stop having sex, for the next time, the way you treat her, the way you handle her, gets her in the mood to suck your dick tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's things like that we talk about on that show. We talk about male sex toy, all kind of shit. It's crazy. But I'm on that show with dear Orlando Roy, my partner, and podcast partner.
Yeah, let's get that straight up.
I just ready to make that clear.
It's 2021.
Hey, I'm hella slow. I just put 2 to 2 together.
That's a New York thing. You're supposed to say pause or something like that.
But you're not supposed to, actually. But anyway, that's.
I just listen to a lot of Cameron, bro. That's all it is.
And then I do So Shameless Pod with Miss Daja Bell and DJ Trom NYC, and they really have been instrumental in waking me up a little bit. Because I'm still asleep like a motherfucker. I'm kind of got one eye open. But you know what I'm
Don't you
saying?
sleep better at night, though? Some of these woke people need to go back to sleep, bro.
They are aggressive. They don't, you know what I mean? Because it does seem agenda-ish when you're that woke that you don't understand like just basic shit.
And that's what I was talking about. It's just like, you want to sit here and blame this and that. Nigga, you know better, right? Do better, nigga. You feel me? Like, set that shit up. But
yeah, we talk about urban issues, relationships, the culture, homophobia, oppression, racism, just being better friends, being better, people to your friends, the people around you, to your parents. We talk about parent shit, because your parents fuck you up. Yeah. So, it's a good time over here. It's a good time.
for sure, man. Well, I appreciate you coming out, man. Al, you want to ask some shit?
Man,
Probably
just
not. Fuck you.
Like for real, man to man. Appreciate everything for sure, man. Like I said, these little steps that we doing, this is super big, bro. Like when you asked me to do the podcast, it was for these reasons like this. This little conversations, this dialogue, because it's not enough of it happening. It's a lot of complaining, but not a action. You know what I mean? I'm all about the action, and this is what it is.
I want y'all to be family. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
we need to build an army of creative, dope, smart, strong men.
Yeah.
Because
That's
we
our
under
shit.
attack. We got used to it. Right? We bombs going off. We kind of just walking through it like everything is fine. It's not fine. We shouldn't have to get used to this shit, and our kids shouldn't get used to this shit.
Right. That's a
You know what I'm
fact.
saying? We need to bond together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got my number.
For sure.
I want y'all to text me when you need anything.
Yep.
Anything.
For sure.
You understand
For
what
sure.
I'm saying?
Vice versa, too. Back up.
Conversations. You know what I'm saying? If you need to talk, I'm 46 years old. It's my job to bestow wisdom upon my people.
sure.
You know what I mean? And what I can help with. If I can't help myself, I can go find it and point you in the right direction, connect you to somebody else that could do something. We need to build that bridge with each other, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm saying?
That's that.
It's all
Appreciate
love,
you coming, man.
All love.
Nice
All
meeting
love.
you, bro.
That's what
But
it's about.
we out. It's Just
out.
Now podcast,
I
man.
mean, like these candles
Time to
for
hit-
you in the bathroom too. I'm
Time
gonna
to
hook
hit
that
the
shit
gravel,
up,
man.
Please don't.